Let's practice a basic Excel macro in Excel 2013. Now, the idea of a macro is to automate certain steps to save you some time. Ideally, you'd learn some keyboard shortcuts to do the work quickly. As well, you may even learn some scripting within Excel, and there's actually a whole profession of coding relating to Excel using Visual Basic for applications, which is a high-paying industry. But for now, let's just introduce the basics. Let's begin by recording a macro. You go to View, and you can see there's a little drop-down arrow here in Macros, and you can see all the macros by going to View Macro. We see nothing here. So let's go View, Record Macro. Now, right now, we're recording a macro. We'll just call it Macro 4. And you can call it whatever you wish. We need to use a shortcut letter here. I'll just use a letter Q, Control Q. Click on OK. So right now, we are recording. So there's a stop button here. So be careful. Don't actually click anywhere. Otherwise, Excel will always click on that cell. So I don't want to actually click on any cell, otherwise the macro effect would apply only to that cell. I'm going to change the formatting. I'm going to press a keyboard shortcut called Control-Shift-F. Control-Shift-F. It opens up the Format Cells dialog. I'm going to change the font to bold italic, and I'll make this fill color. Change the fill. I'll make it orange. Click on OK. So I successfully changed the format. Now I will type in the word macro. Now this is important. You can't just press stop here. It won't work until you actually confirm what you entered. So I'm going to press enter. So I entered it. So now when I go back to the macro, I'm going to stop recording, or you can press stop here in the bottom left corner. And now we have successfully stopped recording. So when I go back to my macro, I can view the macros, and you can see macro 4 is there. I'm going to cancel. And what macro 4, if I click on some other cell, what macro 4 does is when I press Control Q, it very quickly draws what I had before. Now obviously this is not the ideal example of a macro, but we're just introducing the basics. This here, I could simply copy a cell and also paste it, preserving the formatting. But just for the sake of using a macro, I'm just going to press Control Q, Control Q. You may even draw a nice pretty picture for fun if you have lots of time to kill. So to finish off this introductory idea of macros, I'm going to hit the drop-down box and click on View Macros, and I'm going to click on Edit. You may see some kind of Microsoft Visual Basic for applications, Visual Basic coding appear, and this is becoming more like a programming type job to understand this. So this is beyond the scope of a beginner's tutorial, but this is where you can always close it, hit that X button and go back. So hopefully you found this video useful as an introductory step to macros.